All right, welcome back to Key Point here on TV3. Now, my name is Alfred Okansi. Now, the question we ask tonight with what happened in Parliament earlier today, is the RTI bill in limbo? Is this something we're going to see come to the light of day before the expiration of the 6th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana? I've been joined in studio by the Honourable Theophilus Tetechai. He is a Member of Parliament for the Ablekuma Central constituency of the Transport Committee as well. It's good to have you. Good evening to you. So, that question is on the minds of Ghanaians. This bill has been in Parliament for, what, for the past 80 years or so, thereabout. And the deliberations way back in 2002, 14 years. Will we ever see this bill come to pass?
Per what I have seen since yesterday, I will not be surprised if this bill will not be passed into law.
Why do you say so?
You see, this is a bill that the good people of this country have interest in, because as a young democracy, we want to ensure that the right to information is actually enhanced. And the essence of this law is to open the frontiers so that politicians will be more accountable to the people. Now, this bill has gone through a lot of winnowing since 2002.
But obviously, it's from 2002 to 2008, it was never laid in Parliament.
And
it was laid in 2010.
Exactly.
The NDC was in government.
Exactly. And you
withdrew it, relayed it in 2013. Exactly. There were issues that you had with some clauses.
Exactly.
Asad, I think in July, when I checked, you had just done about 20% work on the 116 clauses.
Exactly. But
so
from July,
why the rush?
From July up to the time we left for the elections, we've done enormous work. And consistently, the Speaker of Parliament has given the indication that he wants to ensure that we fulfill this promise to the good people of this country. But you see, before we left, if you go to the Hansard, Katie Hammond raised an issue. And that gave me the indication that the minority were not interested in this bill.
What exactly did he raise?
He said that Ghana is not ready for the bill. And you see, when it comes to the consideration of some of these bills, most of the press are not available to actually monitor what goes on. But go to the Hansard and you see some of the statements that they made. But you see, we've gone back, rearranged some of the clauses. As of now, the clauses that we have is just a few. It's just
if you say it's just a few, I want to find out why. Because I recall that you have 116 clauses in there. Yeah. In July, which was just about 3 months away, 3 months ago, you had done just about 20% of work.
Not 20%,
or thereabout.
We did a lot of work.
Before you went on recess. I recall that the Speaker did reassure and reiterate his commitment in somewhere in August to have this bill passed.
Exactly.
The question will be that why now? You have just about 5 or 6 days to go for a recess. Will you have enough time to peruse and interrogate the details of this very sensitive bill before it is passed into law?
The most important thing is the very delicate aspect of the law, the amendments. Those things have been looked at. If you look at what we have before us currently, some are just typographic errors, things that the Attorney General Department can easily do correction. There is no major issues at stake now. If you look at the current, it's about 30-something clauses to be done.
And all these clauses are just typographical errors?
Yeah, in fact, you just go through and then look at delete objective, insert object. These are not controversial issues.
A word as objectivity and deleting, that is an instructive word that can change the meaning of a sentence in a bill. But so we would not, and I hope you agree, that we will not be able to just water down the effect of such words.
But the question is, as a nation, we've spent a lot of resources, the taxpayers' money, on this right to information bill. Now, if as a parliament, we are not able to go through with this bill, what it means is that this bill is going to be restarted in the next parliament. It is going to go through the same processes that the previous bill went through. At the end of the day, what are we doing to ourselves as a nation?
But does the current nature of the bill pass for its effectiveness if it is passed into law to achieve the objective for which this bill is actually being put in place in the first place?
And even in the case, let's say the minority today, they have problems with certain clauses. The question is, what are those clauses?
What are those
have clauses? They tabled those clauses before the consideration stage?
They haven't?
They haven't. Okay? Yesterday, when this issue was raised, when the whole issue was going to be, the consideration was going to be taken. Yesterday, if you watch sitting of parliament, you realize that we had a packed house.
Right.
Okay? Immediately, this thing was tabled. The minority side started moving out of the chamber. So they realized that the numbers that we had in the house was not fit for business to continue. And they raised the issue of quorum.
So
that was it.
There's this question. If you have this commitment to pass this bill into law since 2010 till now, how couldn't you have passed it, or why couldn't you have passed it between 2010 and now, that you have just 5 days and you want this to be passed into law? I want to understand this.
It has gone through several stages because you have a lot of interested parties in this particular bill.
Okay.
The coalition on the right to information, they also have major interest in this bill. So whilst Parliament is working on this bill, those civil society groups were also putting in their input, because at the end of the day, it should stand the test of time.
So the current nature fits or addresses all those concerns?
Exactly. And that is why before we went on break, the leadership or the committee had to meet and then resolve all the pertinent issues confronting the bill. And those things have been done.
It's not as though that it was a manifesto promise of the NDC, so you have to fulfill
this bill is not serving the interest of a political party.
Right.
It is serving the interest of the good people of this country, so that we will hold our leaders accountable. Okay? It is not serving the interest of the NDC, neither is it serving the interest of the MPP. So
the MPP have indicated that they are going to review, even if it is passed by the NDC majority now, because the 7th Parliament, they are going to have the majority. And you heard Dominic Nito will say that they're going to review it even if it is passed.
You see, the laws that we make for ourselves, where we have challenges, we have the right to review. And we've done amendments over the years, okay? If you think there is a portion of this particular bill which, when passed into law, is going to be inimical to the growth of this country, let the people of this country know.
Okay.
But as we talk now, nobody knows where they have problems with in this bill. Nobody knows.
They haven't tabled that.
They haven't tabled that. You see?
Okay.
And you see, we shouldn't look at it as if it is a manifesto pledge. Because mind you, it is the resources that we have spent as a nation on this bill.
Okay.
And the effect on our governance, that is what is at stake.
He's a member of parliament for the Ablekuma Central constituency. It's good to have you. Thank you very much. And he is also with the Transport Committee of Parliament. But that's it for Key Point.